Hey, this is Brent with Lykins Motorsports. I'm driving down the road. Normally when I'm driving down the road and doing a video, I have an engine in the back. No engine in the back. So this is going to be something completely different. And sometimes I put on videos of firearms and shooting rifles and that sort of thing. This is going to be kind of way out there as far as topics have been for the past year or two. But I am on my way to Bowman Field for my first flight lesson. And I've been, I guess, an airplane fanatic way longer than I've been a car and engine fanatic. I remember being 8, 9, 10 years old and making cockpits out of grocery bags back in the the 80s, when grocery bags were made out of paper and they were big grocery bags. And even when I had a Commodore 64, I had flight simulators and that sort of thing. Then my dad and I got into remote control airplanes for a while, and Dad had some friends who owned Piper Aztec, and I got to go up and they would let me fly for a little bit. When I got into college, into engineering school, I co-opted for a company in Cynthiana, Kentucky, and the engineering manager had his own airplane. He had a Cessna 172, and the airfield was just less than a mile from where we worked. So he would come in and say, hey, let's fly up to Lykins Field, Cincinnati, and grab lunch and fly back. So we'd do that, and he would, on the way back, he would tell me what altitude and heading, and I would fly us home and even set us up on downwind leg, base, and final, and then he would land. But earlier this year, we got a new computer at home, and I decided to buy Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and that kind of ignited, I guess, some old flames. And for my birthday, I went ahead and bought a yoke and rudder pedals and a throttle quadrant. And then after I got some seat time, there is this website called Pilot Edge. And Pilot Edge is for simulator pilots, but what it is you pay a small fee per month, and they actually employ either current or retired air traffic controllers. It's all set in around the California area. So on your simulator, you have to fly, in mid and Southern California. So around LAX and San Diego and Modesto, San Francisco, that sort of thing. And they have lessons that you take. There's 11 VFR lessons. And I went through all of those, and they get pretty in-depth to the point where you're flying into Bravo airspace and you're having to transition between Bravo airports, and you're talking to air traffic control. And you start out planning your route, and you have to use SkyVector and ForeFlight to do that, and you go through the whole shooting match. So at the end of all that time, I passed those 11 lessons, and I thought, man, I'm just itching to get back up in a real plane. So I've got a buddy that I go to church with, and he's a professional pilot, and we'll see what happens in a minute. I think he's going to take some video and pictures for me, so hopefully I'll have some video, some good video. I don't know how much. But anyway, I start talking to my buddy Chris, and he's like, sign yourself up for a discovery flight and just go for a 1-hour flight. And then we start talking more, And he said, well, if you're going to do that, then you should just take an hour or two dual instruction, and that would go towards your private pilot's license if you ever decide to do that. So he has some friends in various places, so he called one of the flight schools at Bowman Field in Louisville and asked who would be one of the best instructors there that would give, you know, the most hands-on the first lesson. So I got in touch with that guy, and we actually went down there yesterday, and I had a 4 to 6 p.m. flight scheduled, and right around I guess about 2 o'clock we called it off because there was some pretty bad winds in the area. But it's 8:45 right now. I got a 10 o'clock lesson, 10 to 11:30 I think, and I want to go take my first lesson. So I have no quick plans of getting my private pilot's license. It's very, very expensive. I think about $9,500 by the time it's all said and done, between your 20 hours of instructor time and 20 hours of solo time, and then all of your tests and ground school and all that stuff. So I'll need to be putting a kid through college here in a little bit, and this will be my long-term goal, but there's no reason why I can't you know, snag a couple hours here and there. And I've been studying some ground school stuff. I was already very familiar with, you know, flight surfaces and controls and all that stuff, but I learned how to do VOR navigation and, you know, some work with a G1000 Garmin and plan my routes and all that sort of thing. So hopefully I'll get to you know, practice some of the stuff I've learned in the past 3 months since I've been messing with all this stuff. So I'll be flying a Cessna 172. It is 44 degrees outside, so hopefully we'll get some heat in that airplane pretty quick. But it is very pretty outside. Winds are about 3 or 4 knots, and not a cloud in the sky. So hopefully the next video you will see will be some videos from inside the airplane. I may grab some pictures of outside the airplane so you can see, and we'll see how my lesson goes. Alright, well, I'm here at Bowman Field, and I got here early. I didn't want to, well, I'm always early anyway, but in case we ran into traffic or whatever. There's the control tower. There is all of the airplanes for this flight school. There goes a 172 taking off. There's the hangar. The smell of 100 low lead fuel is in the air. Love the smell of it. It smells like kerosene, but I guess that's kind of what it is. Or in the country, as we call it, coal oil. Alright, I'm going to wait on Chris to get here and let him take some video for me. There's a Cessna taking off. Now, that direction is Standerford Field, or now it's called Muhammad Ali Airport, and the Charlie airspace is just about 1.5 miles that direction. So when you see airplanes taking off, they either you'll see this guy start to turn to the south or to the north pretty quickly to dodge that airspace, unless he has clearance to fly through it. But he's turning to the south right now. Got a lot of action going on today, so it's a good day for flying. I think this cat's been doing touch and goes, running the pattern. Last time he did a touch and go. I think this time it was a more of a low pass over the runway. So he'll do the same thing. Lost him in the camera.
So you can pull the key out of the magazine. So we can turn off that beacon switch. So for me, the nav switch I usually keep that on is a dummy switch.
All right.
And I'm gonna set the key up here. All right.
What do you think, Brent?
A lot to take in all at one time. All right, I'm on my way home and I'm still alive, so we're in pretty good shape as far as I'm concerned. I did have Chris take as many videos as he could. He got a few, and I'll just put those up. And you may not care anything about it at all, but it's good for me to save for all prosperity and give me a good record of what happened. I did get to do the takeoff, and we flew. We followed the river, the Ohio River, around Louisville and crossed into Indiana and did some coordinated turns and climbs and descents and that sort of thing. And I just had a really good time. So hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months I can maybe go again. But thank you guys for watching. I know this is a kind of a aberration from what I usually put up, but I just wanted to kind of share it with you guys, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.